Hi everyone, welcome back to JPWHUTV. My name is John, your host as always. I hope you're all doing well and having a fantastic weekend. The subject of today's video is discussing Tottenham 0, West Ham United 1. La 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 la. So as always, let's start off with the team sheet. Quite similar to what I was predicting, yet not at the same point. As always, keeping his place in goal was Fabianski. Fredericks came in for Zabaleta. Diop and Balbuena came in for Ogbonna. And Masuaku as the left back. With Rice and Noble as the holding midfielders. With Snodgrass, Anderson, Antonio and Arnautovic. So pretty much exactly what I said except for the back four. So two changes from that. On the bench was Adrian, Zabaleta, Ogbonna, Obiang, Wilshere, Chicharito, aka Hernandez, and Lucas Perez. So basically, guys, what a game. What a game. 1-0 was quite unjust from one point of view. To be honest, against both sides, the first 10-15 minutes, we were absolutely all over them. And I do mean all over them. It was, we attacked them right from the start. As Noble said on the official website, you know, we tried to score a little bit too early, but you know, Spurs had their chances, but they just couldn't take them. They were either offside, even though they weren't being given. Fabianski stepped up to the plate big time once again, but there was only, what, I think in the first half, either side had one shot on target. Now, I know that the stats were saying that Spurs had 62% possession in the first half. It really didn't seem like that at all. I understand that it seemed that way from being on telly, but our stats did not reflect that whatsoever. We kept the ball very well. Don't get me wrong, Spurs are a better team than us season after season, otherwise, you know, they wouldn't be finishing in the top four every season. But we absolutely played them out of the park. Now, to be honest with you, you could say, yes, all right, it's a couple of days before the Champions League, blah, 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 blah. But they didn't actually put too bad of a side out either, to be honest with you. So let's have a look to see what their starting 11 was once my details come up. So the lineups for Spurs. So Lloris, fourth, Sanchez, Alderweireld, or however you pronounce it, Davis, Dyer, Ericsson, Rose, Ali, Mora, Song. Not a weakened Spurs team in any shape or form. They actually, you know, they had some very good players out there. Son absolutely ripped us apart in terms of the right wing, because in terms of their left wing, because our right back Fredericks didn't have the best of games in the first half. Much better in the second half, but just, yeah, it was just brilliant. It was, you know, Fabianski again, superb. Balbuena and Diop, boy, have we missed that combination. They were absolutely over the park. Diop had one of the best games he's had since joining us. Balbuena, absolutely superb. Masuaku, not so much there as what we've seen him in the last couple of games. Fredericks, as I said, had a very poor first half, but grew into the game in the second half. But if I remember correctly, we only had like one or two shots on target in the first half, as did Spurs. So going into half time at 0-0 was a reasonable conclusion for the first half. You know, neither team really deserved to be in the winning position, but boy, did that change in the second half. It was incredible. Now, I was there. I was very fortunate to be at the game. Very fortunate. So thank you very much, Paul, for letting me go there. I'm sure he's going to be spitting feathers for the rest of the season or the rest of my time. But Paul, thank you very much for allowing me the time to go. You know, I appreciate that you weren't able to get off work in time, and as I say, I was very privileged to go. Spurs' stadium itself, pitch side, perfect, absolutely perfect. As I said, you know, it was as exactly as it looked on the pitch. It looked like a combination of Arsenal and Newcastle's ground together, but just put in blue. Walking up to the ground, piss poor from outside. I'm going to say it. It looked like a 1970s building, not a big office block. It was awful grey, metallic grey mesh. It's not windows, but it looked like an old 70s building. It was awful. It has a Sainsbury's lopped into it for one. I mean, how much more middle class pretentiousness can you get? The stewards letting us in were just abysmal, only allowing us in about 7 or 8 at a time. 15 minutes to go. You get into the ground, you go through the gates, these little glass gates with the steward clipping your ticket in. Fine. But you walk in, there's no signs about what blocks numbers are where, with the exception of north and south. That's it. You can only see the blocks where you were when you actually get close to the blocks. Ridiculous. All that money spent, and it's no better than any other football stadium in its world. Yes, okay, we were able to get very fantastic live streams. Very fantastic 4G connection through them, which I streamed on the Instagram account before the game, at halftime, and after the game. If you follow me on the Instagram account, I hope you enjoyed those streams. If you didn't, by all accounts, nobody did, because only one person viewed it, and that was with an invite to Tim at American Hammers TV. It's a big shout out to those guys. So guys, follow me on Instagram for hopefully, because of from next season, I'm really planning to be able to stream before the game, halftime, and also at full time reactions. So, and also hopefully be able to do some reactions to the team sheet. So that's going to be exclusive to Instagram. So please go and follow me on that channel. But anyway, going back to the game itself, second half, absolutely could not be any better if you tried it. Again, we went out all guns blazing on them. Now, for the goal itself on the 66th minute, there is a lot of fuzziness around this. All I remember is Arnautovic with a beautiful toe touch that span himself around, and then there's a bit of a blank, and then all of a sudden Antonio is on the ball, absolutely chasing him down. Thunder rockets it into the back of the net, and of course we all go mental. This is a day in history, guys. We are the first team to score at the new White Hart Lane, and we are the first team to beat them at the new White Hart Lane. You can't get any better than that. It was just brilliant. We were absolutely superb. I know I say that quite a lot, but today we were just there 100%. A little bit later on, Issa Diop could have made it too, with a beautiful run into the box, but because he's a defender, he's not that brilliant at finishing if it's not a header, and it goes wide. Antonio could have had a second as well. A few minutes before he scored, he did the same charging run, but that didn't seem to work. Everybody today, with the exception of 4 players, which I will go into in a moment, had a fantastic day. Mark Noble was off the charts in terms of brilliance. He absolutely bossed that midfield. You could see that there was not much he did wrong. I feel Snodgrass was very hard done by being booked for that challenge in the first half, which, to be honest with you, I don't see a problem with. It was a beautiful challenge. Yes, it was quite fast paced, but there was no intent to get the player. He got the ball perfectly, but that's the way that the game went. And obviously Fredericks got booked as well. Nobody, funny enough, from Spurs got booked, even though Dele Alli on more than one occasion dived. There's no other way about it. He was just on the floor more times than he should have been. Ridiculous penalty shouts in either half. Now, when it comes to substitutions, this is where I really trying to rack my brains around it. Okay, on the 76th minute, Snodgrass came off and Obiang came on. Not really sure why that's happened yet again. Obiang played well, don't get me wrong, he did fine, but I don't get it. Now, on the 80th minute, and the substitution that made complete sense, Arnautovic coming off and Lucas Perez coming on, but again, Perez seemed to revert back to type of just being lazy, not really running properly in terms of he had some perfect opportunities. And also on the 84th, 85th minute, Ogbonna came on for Noble on the 80th, and that's an Allardyce tactic. There's no way of putting it. That was an Allardyce tactic to basically have 5 defenders on the pitch, and it worked. For that 5, and there was 4 minutes of extra time in the second half. But we only got 3.5. We only got 3.5 minutes. But again, Fabianski was superb. He's been absolutely brilliant this season. The only players that I feel don't deserve a higher match rating than 8 or 9 are basically Fredericks. I think Fredericks was a 7 to 8 because his first half, but he was better in the second half. Masuaku, I don't know what he was doing, but to be fair to him, he tracked back. He tried to atone for every mistake that he made, and fair play to him. Anderson, he's just too selfish. Today, he could have had a plethora of chances. For example, in the first half, when we were charging down, I think it was 20-odd minutes in, absolutely charging down the wing. He could have easily squared it to Arnautovic, and it's 1-0 in the first half. But no, he goes for goal himself, and it just doesn't work. Arnautovic himself had an okay game. Not going to deny it, but he did not play as well as I wanted him to, because this could have been his requiem game. And although he played very well, again, not to the level that I feel he could have done. But other than that, everybody else was superb. And Antonio's goal was brilliant. I did not see the celebration. We were just celebrating way too hard. Absolutely superb. But obviously got to see the celebration later, and it was funny as hell. Again, Antonio's got 2 goals in 2 games. Just beautiful football from him. He is really, really cementing himself in the team again, and quite rightly so, because I love Antonio. I've criticised him when he's been poor, as I've criticised everybody else when they've been poor, but it was a great performance from him today, and I am very, very happy with what he's done and what everybody else done. For me, Mark Noble was man of the match. Absolutely ran that midfield with Snodgrass and with Rice. Rice again, beautifully played. Noble, Snodgrass, very, very good attitude from him. Just absolutely on fire. Issa Diop, Jesus Christ, we've missed him. We've missed him the last few games. It's no coincidence that we get Balbuena and Diop back together. They're both playing beautifully, and we keep the clean sheet. Yes, okay, there are a lot of work still. There's a lot of work still to be done for this game, but just beautiful, fantastic. Wasn't expecting this in any shape or form for us to get a 1-0 victory. Great to see that Gio got a bet. He won his bet, having Antonio be the first goal scorer, and for us to win 1-0. Hats off to you, mate. You called it 100%. Turning to the Spurs supporters themselves, vile people. Now, I've said in previous videos that I don't consider Spurs to be a rival in any shape or form. But from what I saw today, including some little Herbert after the game and a few other little twats that were pissing and mucking about today, giving it all the mouth, Spurs are a now rival as far as I'm concerned. I have an overriding hatred of these idiots. And today is the first time I've been so ecstatic with a goal being scored since the playoff final. I'm not going to mix my words. That's exactly how I felt when when Antonio scored. It felt like that goal. that got us through to the playoff final against Blackpool. Oh God, I can't remember his name now. His name's escaping me for a second. But you know, it was beautiful. It was my head was pumping. My heart was about to explode when I saw the ball hit the back of the net. Very, very good. It was on a personal level. It was great to meet Dave Walker outside the ground as we had a brief chat after the game. Dave Walker, as you guys will know, does the West Ham Way podcast along with ex-West Ham employee. He was also there, but I didn't get a chance to talk to him. It's great to finally say hello to Ryan Archer at West Ham Fan TV, and Nikki as well for that matter, and Mike. Olas Mike, as your username is, thank you very much for subscribing to the channel. I really do appreciate it. I wasn't touting for you to subscribe, but it was nice to chat to you, and it's nice for you to subscribe to the channel. And also a new subscriber as well today, Kevin Barlow. Nice to have both of you on board. By all means, guys, put your comments in the comments section below. But yeah, you know, unfortunately, I was hoping to get on the fan cams of West Ham Fan TV, but because of one of their vile Spurs supporters, none of the fan cams were done, and I'm sure they'll go into the reasons why on the post-match point that they're going to be doing as well today. But as I say, ecstatic. Was not expecting this. I said in the preview, if we worked hard, we would possibly get a draw. We worked ridiculously hard today, and got all 3 points, and I'm very, very happy with this. So, you know, we're now down into minus single digits, the goal difference, and where are we? The points is just excellent. You know, to be honest with you, let's just bring up the details themselves. So yeah, we're on 36 points. 36 games with 43 points, minus 9 goal difference, and just, you know, 46 points, minus 9 goal difference. We've got 2 very, very difficult games coming up. If we get another 2 points out of that, depending on how things go, we will still be 11th. Quite frankly, if we get 4 points out of the next 2 games against Southampton at home and Watford away, then we could potentially finish in 10th, but we'll see. But I'm very, very happy with this. Elation doesn't come into it. We have worked so hard over the last 3 games prior to this. Chelsea in the second half, Man United overall, and Leicester wasn't the best of games, but we were working very hard. So 4 points out of our last 3 games. Very, very happy with this. Not the best, but there's always room for improvement. But you know, it's nice to get the win tonight, or wins this afternoon, I should say. But in the meantime, guys, thank you very much for your time. If you're new around here, or if you're not new around here and you haven't subscribed to the channel, then by all means please do so, and also hit the notification bells to get first dibs on all the videos when they go up. As I said, put your comments in the comment section below. If you like the video and you feel I deserve it, then by all means please click the like button. As I said earlier, by all means please follow the channel on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, fanvibe.com, Reddit, and there's also a Curious Cat account set up. So if you want to ask me anything, I am more than happy. So go on to curiouscat.com/JPWHUTV. I am more than happy to read out your questions for the next video. If you want to tweet, you ask me any questions on Twitter, by all means do so. If you want to contact me on Facebook, as I said, you can find the channel group page and also the channel page itself at JPWHUTV. Ask me questions. I'm more than happy to answer any questions you guys have got. I'm not an in the know in any shape or form. I'm just an average supporter like the rest of you. But I'm more than happy to interact with you guys on many, many levels. So in the meantime, guys, thank you very much for your time. Get absolutely blitzed out of your brains this weekend, because we have deserved this victory today. Over the last few games, we have really, really deserved this. So in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you midweek next week for the last ever home game of the season preview against Southampton.